in the building.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, you YouTube Messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar, Tim Vicious. And we are talking about Clash of Champions. Was in B-Town, Boston, Massachusetts. I always say, 3 best crowds in the U.S. Hands down, Philadelphia, New York, Boston. You know, I always say that, and you know, you'll never convince me otherwise. That is the honest-to-goodness truth on that. Now, the show... Well, the show, it had its ups and downs. I mean, there was some matches just looked at like, huh? But, you know, and speaking from being a guy who did do this kind of kooky, crazy shit in the ring for a little bit, you know, and, you know, now... no longer doing that, kind of doing my own thing, you know, just with this, I was, well, I can't say I was thoroughly entertained, but I was entertained enough to want to still watch it. So, I can't complain that much. Either way, first match of the night, pre-show match, MoJo versus Zack Ryder. First things first, we need to address the elephant in the room in regards to this match. One, when did the pre-show start getting when did pre-show matches start getting promo videos for it? And 2, what the hell is up with Mojo Rawley's entrance music? Because, you know, I understand, you know, new villain, you know, you're a villain now, you're a heel, and you need heel music and all that, but, dude, it sounds like a freaking speaker that's in the middle of playing just got put inside a giant grinder, and it's like, just, yeah. Thought I was gonna have a seizure hearing that. Either way, he came out, then Ryder came out, he had his Tanahashi robe on, and nice little brawl to start with. You know, MoJo, he was in control, he pretty much kind of led the match. It was, you know, it came to an end when, as Ryder was starting to get his second win, you know, he was starting to pick up the pace. MoJo stopped him, next thing you know, just running for him, boom, right through his jaw, you know, and then got the pin, 1, 2, 3, that was it. So, yeah, MoJo. Anyways, next matchup, real show now. Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, triple threat match for Corbin's United States Championship. And of course, we all know Baron Corbin has 33 1/3% chance of winning this match, according to Scott Steiner, the great mathematician he is. You know, as far as the match goes, you know, right at the start, Corbin, he was kind of cornered, and Ziggler and Roode, they targeted him. You know, they worked on him. It was good, but more so, this match didn't really... trying to think how to phrase this. Honestly, it was more so like it was, okay, now this guy, one-on-one for a few minutes. Then this guy out, new guy in, this guy one-on-one for a little bit, this guy out, this guy in, one-on-one. More so like that instead of like, you know, actual like kind of triple threat feel, like everyone trying to go after each other kind of thing, and just, yeah, you know, but, I mean, it was half decent for what it was, you know. I mean, everyone, you know, everyone did get a chance to go and swing and get a slugfest in on each other. Match came to an end in probably one of the nicest ways possible. We'll say it now, Ziggler did get the win, but on how he did, Corbin and Roode were going at each other, and Corbin had Roode set up for the end of days And just as he was about to go and launch him back for it, Ziggler came out of nowhere, hit him, boom, caught him with the zigzag, and then 1, 2, 3. That was it. Now, aside from that, probably the most disturbing part of this match was at some point Corbin's shirt got ripped, so he took the entire thing off, and then we were forced to see Corbin's sad belly button that looks like pouty lips. Like, I don't know if you could see that real close up. Like that. His weird freaking... I don't even know how to describe that, you know, I mean... I know they do certain meal plan. I know there are like certain meal plans out there that'll mail order certain foods to you to help you like lose and control weights. That way you use your own body fat to burn off excess, burn calories and shit like that. Not saying Corbin's not in shape, but he may want to consider something like that so he can get a little more definition. Just for the simple fact of, dude, if you're gonna be shirtless, at least show one ab. I mean, just like, Anyways, next up, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Match. Aiden English and Rusev going against Shelton Benjamin, Chad Gable, going against the New Day, going against the Usos, and honest to God, this was a great match. I absolutely loved this match. Right out the bat, everyone started going at it. Now, Fatal 4-Way, which meant all four of the team were in the ring all at the same time, and they could only tag each other, which, you know, nice that they added that. You know, I still remember seeing as a kid, they did a Fatal 4-Way on Monday Night Raw. They did a Fatal 4-Way with, and the New Age Outlaws were in there for, and it was a tag title match also. New Age Outlaws got tagged in on each other, and it was like, oh shit, are they going to fight each other? No, just pin each other. 1, 2, 3, that's it. Thus, they were like, oh, well, hey, that's a bad guy. They're bad guys doing bad guy things. Oh, they cheated to win. So now they add this stipulation saying, can only tag your partner, you know. So it's not like, you know, you could have Big E tag in Chad Gable and then you got Gable and Benjamin in there, you know. But either way, back to the lecture at hand as far as this match. You know, all-out brawl to start. All-out brawl to start. Get my damn words right. All-out brawl to start, the great action. Honestly, the best way to describe this was action, 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 all over. You know, a lot of good storytelling. Really great movement all around from everyone in it. I was not disappointed with this one bit. You know, it was just, wow. That and freaking Chad Gable at one point just like wound up channeling Kurt Angle's, like throwing out German suplexes all over, throwing them out to everyone. Next thing you know, with Big E, threw him against the ropes, head him back, got an Okada roll, and then did a deadlift German on him. And not an overhead German, just a straight up boom German on him. But, yep, match on how the match came to an end after, you know, the Usos were throwing super kicks out at everyone. That's when Gable started doing the suplexes. And then after that, excuse me, after that, one of the Usos cornered Gable, slammed him into his corner. Uso 2 tagged Uso 1, threw out a super kick, and then, boom, body splash on him, 1, 2, 3. That was it. Usos won, and I'm not going to lie, as you may have known if you've gone back and watched some of the other episodes, no, I was never really one of the biggest fans of the Usos ever because they never did anything to wow me. But honestly, since they started doing this kind of like thug-ish kind of personas with them, they actually seem, you know, they're actually presentable. They're putting on matches that make me like, I want to see this. I actually want to see that match. Because honestly, throughout this past year, probably their best feud was with New Day. And the best tag matches WWE had this past year, hands down, with New Day versus Usos. You know, that only thing I could really say on that. Now, next matchup we got, it was the piss break of the night. Unfortunately, it was Breezeango versus the Bludgeon brothers, in which case you could pretty much imagine on how that went. You know, Fandango tried fighting, but in the end it was just no. And they finished them. They had him up for like that double last stride and just boom, threw him down. 1, 2, 3. That was it. Honestly, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. I mean, obviously I was expecting that outcome, but I was expecting a little more. More so because I wanted to kind of show, hoping that they'd show that the Bludgeon brothers would be, you know, put a little more human into their characters. Like, yeah, they can take beatings. Yeah, they can get hit and they can get they can get shots thrown at them. But you know what? They can get beat up, but they're just going to be like, is that all you got? And then just wham! And slam right into them. That's what I was hoping for. Next matchup, actually, I'm sorry, before the piss break match. Damn it, Wade! It's the second week in a row he's gotten me with doing this. With messing up the cue cards. He did that to me last week, and now he did it to me this week. Thanks a lot, Wade. Fucking asshole. Anyways, that match that should have happened before, that match that happened before the piss break was women's match, Natayla versus Charlotte, Lumberjacks or Lumberjills. I don't know the politically correct version. We'll just say the tree cutting people that wear flannel and typically have beards match. You know? Now, nice back and forth at the start, you know, but there was seriously severe lack of tree cutting people who wear flannels and typically have beards surrounding the ring. I mean, you had Ruby Riott and her two over here. You had Tamina and Lana up here. Naomi on this side, and this side was completely empty. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Whose idea was it to make this a frickin' people who cut trees that typically wear flannel and typically have beards match? You know, I swear somebody probably just pitched that to Vince like, hey, sir, I got a brilliant idea. Oh, what is it, man? We'll do, for the women's match, Natayla versus Charlotte at Clash of Champions, we'll make it a lumberjack match. A lumberjack match, huh? How many women we got on the roster for SmackDown? Oh, we only have this many, sir. I like it. We'll make sure the camera's not on this side of the ring, so that way nobody will see it. And then when somebody gets tossed over to that side by accident, you just imagine Vince in the back, like, God damn it, who put them over there? Oh shit, that was my idea. You know, that's just on how I think it goes. But anyway, yeah, more so, and honestly, the frickin' people who cut trees that typically wear flannel and have beards were more so attacking Charlotte than anything, which, really kind of boring. Not only that, Natayla, man, just, ugh. Listen, she's a half-decent wrestler, I give her that, but she has such a monotone voice. You know, it's like almost hearing a telemarketer, and you're talking to somebody who used to be a manager for a telemarketing firm, and anytime she does, yay, I feel like she's like trying to be like that forcible person, like that one person that works in your local indie show that, you know, has 3 or 4 people that cheer for them, but is trying to rally up the entire audience. And it's just, ugh. anyways, after, of course, with this kind of a match, you know, with the people who cut trees that typically wear flannel and have beards, everyone started all brawling each other, and then, you know, Charlotte did a moonsault on them, and then they eventually got back in the ring. Natty had a sharpshooter. Natty went to go for a sharpshooter. After they tussled for a minute, Charlotte got out of it, locked in the figure 8. Natty tap, Charlotte wins. There was at one point though, Carmella, she did have the briefcase on hand. It was apparently hidden under the ring. Really nice keynote on that part. Do want to make a note on that. Carmella did have that in there, and it did look like she was going to get ready to tap, or cash it in, I should say, when Charlotte was knocked out at one point. Really nice to see that. That would have been really cool. And even though she didn't cash it in, was still cool because it did add an extra sense to the match. Now, anyways, after this match, Natty wound up channeling her dear old Uncle Brett via 1997 and started like, I gave my best for this company and for all your people, and you won't boo me. Well, if you're not going to be with me, then I'm not going to be with you. And then she stormed off while Boston was chanting na 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 na, hey hey, goodbye to her, which case, thank you, Boston. Because honestly, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, the only heart that I've seen or heard stories on that was never really like a whiner, I gotta say, was Owen. I mean, everyone knew Owen was the goofy one and the jokester of the family, but Brett, man, Brett was like, from all the stories and the interviews you heard on Brett from like in that era, it's like, man, it was like a freaking prima donna. You know, like, I swear people are out to get me, and you know, the company's looking to make me look like this and that. Just, dude, go with what you got. Complain about what you think is wrong, but don't go making it all about you like, oh, they're out to get me. You know? Ugh. Anyways, after the Natalya match, then that was the piss break, which we already covered. So now that we actually got the cards shuffled right, thank you, Ed, for keeping Wade away from the flashcard, so now we know what we're doing. The tag team match of Nakamura and Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan both refereeing this match. Oh! Also, do want to address real quick, if you have an HD TV like I do and you see Randy come on out with that new hairdo he's got, yes, he did get hair surgery to get that put on there. I'm not sure, but I think he got plugs in there. If not that, then he got that surgery where they shave the hair off your ass and slap it on your head. Don't worry, folks, that's not where this came from. This is all natural, you know. But anyways, as far as the match goes, had a good feeling out at the start, but really it was kind of confusing at the fact of you had Daniel and Shane in the ring at the same time, you know, and it was just, like, huh? What? Just seriously, I mean, I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. Because any other time you did a match like that where there was more than one official, and probably the most infamous for anyone my generation who grew up watching wrestling, like seeing the quote-unquote Attitude Era, has to probably be with Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania with Mike Tyson, and Tyson was outside the ring, you know. You had the referee, who I think was Mike Chioda or Jimmy Cordero, so I don't remember, inside. He took the eventual ref bump, and then Tyson came in, did the sucker punch to Shawn, Steve gave him a stunner, and then did the 1, 2, 3 for Steve. Point being, why have both referees in there at the same time? Whereas you could just eventually have one ref take the inevitable ref bump by accident, or one ref get ready to look like he's going to be crooked and cheat, and then have the other one come in and be like, no, you're not going to do that. You can't do that. That's not right. You know, something like that. But either way, you know, honestly, I really dug this match, you know, but the whole stipulation of if Kevin and Sami lose, then they are fired not just from SmackDown, but from WWE altogether. They'll never be able to work in Raw or NXT or any part of WWE whatsoever. You know, because, yeah, that stipulation, it kind of makes it obvious who's going to win on it. But, you know, but again, you know, it's also with that mindset, like I always say before, don't focus on how the ending's going to be, focus on the storytelling. You know? But sometimes you got to make a little bit of a surprise, like, well, what if they don't win? Then what? Either way, as far as the match went, half decent match, you know. Really dug it, but not really all that keen on the idea of Randy and Nakamura as a tag team. And at this point, as good as SmackDown Live is, it's starting to kind of feel like they're taking a page out of the Teddy Long book with making a tag team match, player, holla, holla, holla. Or, you're going to have a match tonight with Randy Orton. You know, just doing that. Like, ugh. You know, thank God The Undertaker's retired now. Otherwise, you know, we'd wind up having next week Kevin Owens versus Undertaker, and then the week after that, Sami Zayn versus Undertaker. Just, ugh. And then the inevitable handicap match of them two against Undertaker. But either way, probably one of the cooler moments I kind of liked. It was the eventual table spot where they had them, where Sami and Kevin had Randy laid out on the Spanish table. Kevin did the run and then frog splash onto him, right onto there. And interesting part was later on in the match when Randy's in there, he hits an RKO on Sami. Shane's over, doing a count clean, 1, 2, and then Owens throws Daniel on top of Shane, so that way he winds up stopping the count like that, and then it just looks like, oh, are they going to argue now? They're going to start arguing with each other? And then Randy and Sami Zayn start getting into a back and forth with doing roll-ups. Thought that was going to eventually lead to them both laying down at the same time. Thankfully it didn't. But, you know, after that, Sami had Randy over. Shane was doing it 1, 2, and then just stopped like that, and then was like, And then Daniel started getting into Shane's face over that, and then again, Sami did a roll up on Randy. 1, 2, 3. Quick count like that, rang the bell, and they won. Which case, thank you all for attending Ring of Honor Clash of Champions. Only 2 out of 3 of those were attending Ring of Honor because Sami Zayn was the mentor of former Ring of Honor star El Generico. God bless you, El Generico. We do dearly miss you. You know, but yeah. Was also cool at the fact that, you know, Boston was cheering ole, ole, ole for Sami Zayn because, you know, like I said, El Generico was the late great El Generico was Sami Zayn's mentor. You know, but either way, that match, you know, that was alright. Next matchup, main event of the night, Jinder Mahal, AJ Styles, and I heard some people on the Twitter, you know, going like, oh, this is so boring, I'm having a hard time staying awake. Okay, understand you don't like it, and I've made this argument before. If you don't like the product, you don't have to watch. Not only that, if you are going to watch the product, you're going to complain about it, at least think of a way on how you would improve it. You know, and not the typical smarky McSmarkerton, well, I wouldn't have this guy working against this guy. You know, no, I want to hear, if you're going to have this guy wrestle this guy, how would you have them do it? You know, work something like that. But, you know, I wouldn't say this was their best match that these two have had. But this was, you know, it was half decent, you know. And always judge right at the start to see on how this kind of a match, on how a match normally looks. This nice, good, snug collar elbow tie up right at the start. Really dug the hell out of that. You know. Also liked on how both guys were working different parts of each other's body. AJ Styles was working on Jinder Mahal's left knee. Jinder Mahal was working on AJ Styles' ribs. And I don't normally argue with Corey Graves too much on commentary, but Corey Graves wound up saying, you know, if you got broken ribs, it hurts to walk around and breathe. Now, stop. Little side story right here. Back when I was about 15, 16, my sister, she threw something at, she threw a softball at me, caught me right here, broke 3 or 4 ribs. Didn't hurt to walk. Didn't hurt to walk. Hurt like all hell to breathe, I will admit that. When you have broken ribs, it hurts to breathe. But walking, it did not hurt me one bit. Either way, though, that's the only thing I would really... I think that's like the only time I've ever argued or tried to make a point against Corey Graves on this show. You know, I kind of dig him, you know. He's a PA guy, you know. Granted, he's from Pittsburgh and I'm from Philly, but, you know, we're both Pennsylvania's pride and joys. Either way, though, you know, it was nice seeing that kind of psychology in the sense of working one limb, them working another, you know. And it was nice, decent kind of back and forth for it, you know. At Jinder more so was kind of like, it felt more so like Jinder was kind of leading the match, like Styles was letting them. And I was okay with that because, you know, yes, let the veteran say, okay, kid, I want you to lead. I want you to lead this. I want you to lead this and let me make you. And like I said, while I don't think this was their best, I think this does kind of help set Jinder up on a more legitimate spot on the card because the guy went through leaps and bounds to go and prove he's worth coming back in WWE after he got let go. You know, and he told this story before a million times. You know, after he got released, he was out drinking every night, you know, throwing down a bottle almost every night, this, that, and the other. And then one day, you know, he gets re-signed. Next thing you know, he's like, all right, you know what? I got to get in better shape now. So he cut out drinking altogether, does massive cardio, starts hitting the weights like crazy. And, you know, the argument that can be said, everyone says Jinder doing the juice. I don't think it one bit. And I'm not saying that because, you know, oh, the policy, wellness policy thing. No. Jinder has always been a veiny guy to begin with. But the thing is, you know, you look at, he's put up the videos on there all the time. The kind of workouts he does, he focuses on strength as well as definition work. And I'm speaking from experience being a gym rat myself, doing a lot of that stuff. Now I may not have a rippling 12-pack like Jinder, but that's because I like to eat stuffed crust pizza on Saturday nights. You know, but yeah, back to the match at hand. Really liked seeing that. Really liked seeing the way, you know, Jinder was more so kind of leading the match with it. And at one point, you know, for 90%, want to say like 99% of the match, the Singh brothers, they didn't do anything with the match. They didn't do anything in the match, you know, which was another good thing because it then gave more to Jinder to say he's doing it. And match wound up coming to an end though after Styles took out both Singh brothers and gave one of them the Styles Clash outside. Jinder went to go. Jinder at him, hit him with the Colossus, he kicked out. Went to go and try something else. Next thing you know, Styles wiggled out, locked in the calf killer, and yes, I still call it the calf killer. Some things you just can't burn out. Some things you just can't change the name to. Wrenched it in good and hard on him. Next thing you know, you see Jinder fighting like, yeah, I tap. He tapped out, you know, and boom, that's it. Styles won via that. So, all in all, I would give the pay-per-view 3.5. I'd give it a 3.5 if I was gonna be like, if I'm gonna give it a rating, you know, 3.5 out of 5. But yeah, so that is it for this week's show, folks. So do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter at TimVicious. Also, make sure y'all check out my backup account, Tim_Vicious. Make sure you also look at the info down below for The Dad Show. It's a lifestyle podcast, storytelling podcast, whatever kind of podcast you want to see it as. Details on that are down below. Also, I am on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. Just make sure you let me know who you are so I don't think you're some creepy pervert looking to see me. Make sure you also look for these cool ass cats right here on the Twitter as well. Axel Mulligan, Kenny Killer, my two co-hosts for The Dad Show. I am Daddy Sunday, and Oliver Ben, who is also the executive producer for this show. He did provide the music for this week's show as well. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, and such details are down below. Cranky Asshole Aaron _Deborah, as well as Dazzy MWP. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck yous.